So let's talk about this Raptors and Nuggets game. Obviously, it was a great game as they're two of the teams in the league. Well, at least the Nuggets are showtime in terms of their efficiency, their passes, and the way that they play. And the Raptors are one of the better teams and more entertaining. I do believe that they have been put through the toughest situation out there. If I'm not mistaken, Scotty Barnes is out for the season. But I just wanted to talk about the Nuggets as they won against the Raptors. Very clutch time game. And what does this game mean for them in their season? First, to consult the standings. And I know that I talk about the standings every single video now. But now is where the standings matter. The West is close. The East is constantly moving. And there are a lot of teams which are moving their positions up or down depending on where they rank, right? We could see in the West that this game really puts the Nuggets much on top of the Timberwolves as they won one more game, lost one less. And then they comfortably take up that 2 seed next to the Thunder, which both have a 3 game winning streak in their past occurrences. You know, today they both play, so today we will be able to get a very interesting. Well, no, I'm sorry. Today the Thunder play, tomorrow the Denver Nuggets play, and this season series is going to be decided in the next few weeks, especially with all the games which are being played this week. I do want to say that for the Raptors, they're an extremely tough team to beat as they have everything. They just don't have a large amount of it. You know, they have Grady Dick, which has been playing as one of the best players in the game, just consistently, they're consistently doing his thing and has been one of the better rookies, especially after the All-Star break and especially in the past 2 weeks. They also have guys like Bruce Brown, RJ Barrett, Kelly Olynyk now, and they have a wide variety of players which can really put themselves in positions to win and have shown to be effective players from outside, from inside, and from wherever. Right, and with that being said, Grady Dick this season has been one of the better players in terms of the rookies. I do believe that his 3-point percentage, his effort, has been paying off, especially after Scotty got injured. You know, they have guys like Ochai Agbaji, and I do believe that their coach, Darko Rajovic, I don't know how to say his name yet correctly, so when I do, I will start saying it correctly, but I think that he's been one of the better coaches in the NBA. Getting that Raptors team that many wins has been a miracle, if we're being 1,000% honest. And the way that they've moved around players and been able to extract the value from stars or from certain young guys has been a very telling sign of good coaching. Apart from that, he looks very emotional every single night. He looks like he really loves the game of basketball, and we've seen him really turn it up a notch when it comes to his effectiveness as a coach and the way that he's brought that out of his players. I do believe that the Raptors are one of the teams which could use stars and could use players. Apart from this, they've used the Raptors in this game. Well, apart from this, the Raptors in this game were leading for a lot of the game, and the Nuggets looked pretty bad originally. They looked slow. By the midpoint of the second quarter, they had only scored 34 points, which even though normal back in the day, right now you don't see that, right? And they had really been abused in around the rim and in terms of effort and effectiveness. But after the game started to pick up, we saw the Nuggets completely shift the energy around to really put up a competition with the Raptors. I feel like their 3-point shooting and their effectiveness made them one of the better teams in this game, and especially Michael Porter Jr. for the Nuggets. He had a hell of a game where he had the Nuggets in this game came back in the second and third quarters where they just put on one of the best performances. In the final minutes of the second quarter, they put up a bunch of tough shots. And in the start of the third, they really started piecing their offense together as their backcourt of Jamal Murray and KCP had not scored for the first 2 quarters of the game, basically until the end of the second quarter. After this, we saw Murray just go into complete clutch time mode. He made that ridiculous layup with one hand where he just scooped it and kind of threw it in and got the and one. Jokic around the rim was kind of unstoppable this game as they were just leaving him open, which I don't understand why you would leave the biggest, most fundamentally sound player on the court open. And finally, I do believe that their defense played dividends this game in terms of their winning. Jokic obviously did not play that well defense, but that was mostly because the team around him played very well, especially when it came to stopping these players. In the fourth quarter, they finished the comeback where they were finally able to do something and win the game, actually, from a Michael Porter Jr. 3, which was just completely insane to end the game and it was one of the moments where it was like the whole game probably depended on that one shot. I do think that the Raptors made it much closer than most people thought it would be. The Denver Nuggets are the best team in their conference, and I do think that the Eastern Conference teams have been able to prove that they are and can make good competition to the West. And in this game, we saw the Toronto Raptors really have themselves a great performance, especially when it came to shooting and passing or whatever. I do want to say that Michael Porter Jr. is looking more like a passer each day. I understand that the memes turned something good out of him, as I've seen him make consistent passes, and I do believe that his inability to assist before probably made him a cone on the floor and made defensive targeted him. Recently, he has been passing it more to Jokic, to Murray, to whoever wants to take the ball. And I think that his new addition to his game has made it so that he's much more effective, especially as a shooter, because when you can pass as a shooter, you've kind of forced the defense to sag off you. Apart from this, like I said, they built that in the fourth quarter, this comeback, and they started coming back, and with 2 minutes left, it was 93-56, and the Nuggets just did something beautiful. They completely came back through every Toronto-made basket, and they just started really. It felt like just every shot that they were shooting in the third was making sense. They cut the lead down to 5 before the fourth quarter. Then in the fourth quarter, they went absolutely crazy, getting the game to 121 points, where they won by a large margin. I believe that this comeback was representative of the way that the Nuggets play, the confidence that they have in each other, and the absolute just performance that Nikola Jokic had this game. Nikola Jokic this game played amazingly. He had hit by himself a 35-point triple-double with 35 points, 12 assists, 17 rebounds, 6 of them being offensive, 6 steals, 2 blocks, and only 2 turnovers with 3 fouls. He was a plus 13 on the floor. He looked like he was getting every open layup. He looked like he was finally able to put himself in a position where he was abusing the wide open looks, and his performance in this game was one to remember. I don't think it makes him the MVP, but I also do think that this performance against the Raptors really capped off an amazing comeback and an amazing win for the Nuggets.